Become a patron at www.patreon.com/Golden Era Bookworm for hard to find books, scans of rare photos, and articles on the golden era of bodybuilding. Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookworm here. Today I'd like to talk about the history of the humble gym bench. When you think about it, the most basic equipment is taken for granted, especially these days with all gyms closed. The most basic equipment, such as dumbbells, barbells, and the gym bench, all have a rich history which goes back millennia. In particular, with the gym bench, it is hard to pinpoint exactly when it was first used for the purpose of physical development. However, we can look back in time and see how the use of platforms, benches, and chairs, etc. have been used and how they have evolved to the gym bench which we enjoy nowadays. I hope you enjoy this historical look at the humble gym bench. When we look back 3 centuries ago, there are accounts, for example, of strongmen lifting off platforms known as the harness lift, right? And one such account back in the 1790 is of British strongman Thomas Topham, who was well known for his impressive strength, such as his stunt of harness lifting 3 hogsheads, which basically are like barrels, of water weighing close to a ton, and it's shown here right in the middle, this illustration of Thomas performing that feat in front of hundreds of people. This form of lifting, harness lifting that is, continued into the Silver Era, as shown in the photo on the very far right of John Grimmick performing a harness lift as well, and is even continued nowadays in modern strongmen. The old strongmen of the past were also acrobats and performed in the circus, balancing and tumbling off boxes, benches and chairs, performing all sorts of lifting and balancing feats, such as handstands and box dips. Although these acts of acrobatics and harness lifting don't necessarily represent the kind of use the bench has today, we can see how benches and boxes and chairs were being used in the past in the pursuit of physical development. When we look at the late 1800s and early 1900s, in the times of the old strongmen, we begin to see how the bench, the use of the bench that is, became somewhat similar as used in bodybuilding and as it is used today. The European strongmen were famous for their lifting feats, especially whilst sitting on chairs and benches. Strongmen such as Joseph Steinbach and Karl Svoboda, Wilhelm Turk, as shown here in this photo. I mean, look at the size of this guy. Damn, look at those arms. All natural too. Natural beer drinking, that is, a lot of it too. These guys were all well known for dumbbell pressing and barbell pressing enormous poundages, close to 300 pounds at least if not more, I believe, while being seated. And also famous for even hoisting 500-pound barrels of ale and beer on benches. It's kind of funny, I have to admit, with the European strongmen. There's always some connection of lifting barrels of beer, on benches, on platforms. There's just something so funny about the old strongmen of Europe always lifting beer. I kind of picture these guys getting half drunk and going, I'm stronger than you and I can lift this, and then they start a competition. Maybe that's how the strongman sport in Europe evolved. Now, if we fast forward to the Bronze Era, that's right between 1920 and 1930, pioneering American weightlifting authority Mark Berry was probably the first man to specifically mention the use of boxes and or benches for the performance of a chest exercise. That's right, our beloved bench press. In his book entitled Physical Improvement, Berry describes the box press for the development of muscle and strength in the upper body. Here, for example, is Reg Park performing a 500-pound plus bench press off a box-like bench. That's right, it's not really a steel bench, just like a box kind of bench thing. With no racks, that's right. Back then, they didn't even have racks for squatting and benching. Just think about that. Think about how lucky we are today, especially those of us that have access to basic gym equipment. By the 1930s, gyms around the world were beginning to design their own gym equipment, including, of course, benches, and by the early 1940s, Joe Weider came out with one of the first commercial benches, a plain bench with no padding, and later the regular padded bench, which we all enjoy nowadays. Here is one of the first ads I've ever encountered from Your Physique magazine, called the Weider Multi-Purpose Exercise Bench, with Abe Goldberg performing, I don't know, pullovers or something, and you can see under him it says there, the bench of 1,000 uses, and definitely that's the truth. I mean, the bench is a specialized piece of equipment that allows us to do hundreds if not thousands of exercise. Thank God for the gym bench. Since then, of course, there is a plethora of benches available for all sorts of exercises, such as the adjustable incline bench, as shown here, used by the one and only Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is performing a grueling set of incline curls, that is. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and I hope that for your own sake, you've got basic equipment at home right now, because I know with all gyms closed, a lot of people are trying to purchase gym equipment or just trying to train at home, whichever way possible. And as I said before, we all take this stuff for granted. I mean, a long time ago, you know, it was rocks, eventually barbells and dumbbells were invented, and eventually benches. So, you know, for those of us that are lucky to have gym equipment, we can see the importance of such basic stuff to keep us strong and healthy. As I said, I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't to the Golden Era Bookworm. Leave me your comments. Thank you for watching, and please share the video if you enjoyed it. If you'd like to support my research, please donate via PayPal, become a patron. You can also visit my website for how to print books and courses on old school bodybuilding. And of course, if you wish to collaborate or pass on your bodybuilding relics and literature, please get in touch via email. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is the Golden Era Bookworm saying bye for now. Now, if you're interested in learning more about Reg Park's bodybuilding principles and principles for gaining strength and power, please visit my website, www.goldenerabookworm.com, where you'll find several titles like ribcage and chest development, Reg Park's original 5x5 routines, plus several arm booklets as well, all on my website, www.goldenerabookworm.com. To take full advantage of my collaboration with Old School Labs, please visit their website and choose from their marvelous range of supplements using my code BOOKWORM12. And for an entertaining look at the history of bodybuilding's supplement industry, I would highly recommend watching Subs the Movie, which I have collaborated in, available at Amazon Prime and Vimeo.